Hi guys, my name is Annalie and welcome to my DIY channel. Let's go ahead and let's get crafting. These are the supplies that we're going to be using for this first project. I got most of this from the Dollar Tree and the greenery is from Walmart along with the black and white ribbon. So the first thing that I did is I took these popsicle sticks that I got actually from Walmart maybe? And I decided that I wanted to use these to make a little sign that would go along with my wreath. And so I went ahead and I put 3 of them together to kind of measure out the size that I wanted. And I didn't want the rounded ends on those. So I went ahead and I marked those, kind of just scored them. I went to cut these off and I was using my son's school scissors and they were not cutting it. Pun intended. So I ended up having to get the adult scissors and they worked like a charm. So I went ahead and I just got those scissors right out of the way so that I could finish working, and I trimmed off all of the edges so that I could have a nice square little slat sign. Then I took a third popsicle stick and I cut it into 3 pieces so that I could use that to glue onto the back to keep my sign all together. Once it was done, it was the perfect size for the wreath that I wanted. So you guys, I am trying a new color of stain. I'm pretty excited about it. This is my first time using it. It is in the color Espresso and it is a giant can, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it all, so I'm pretty excited about that. So now it's time to assemble my wreath. I really just wanted a neutral colored summer wreath that's just, I just needed something new and refreshing to move on from spring a little bit. Okay, so then I used some burlap. I know this burlap is huge and I thought about using some smaller burlap for a minute, and then I decided that I really wanted the bigger burlap. I just thought that it would look so good with this wreath, and so I went ahead and I tried to tie a bow right here, but it is so big. You guys, watching me tie this bow is such a struggle, and it gets worse before it gets better, but eventually we get there. All right, so I get it to pretty much where I want it, and I know it is huge. It is taking over this wreath right now. So, but I promise guys, it ends up working out. At least I think it works out. So now, taking all that greenery that I just cut off, I just go ahead and start gluing that coming down the side. So coming out from the bottom of the bow, and then I will do out from the side of the bow as well. While I let that glue kind of set and dry, I went ahead and went back to our little sign here. I used my Silhouette cutting machine to cut out this little hello piece. It came from the Silhouette design store, and I actually used the vinyl as a stencil, so don't worry. That's why you're kind of thinking, wait, pink? Pink doesn't really match what my scheme is right now, but I used it as a stencil and it worked really good. And then I used some Waverly white chalk paint and my sponge and just sponged it all on so that I could have the white wording against the stained wood. One of my favorite looks for the farmhouse decorations. You guys know how much I love this. It's so satisfying to peel this off. Like, I love this part. Also, a tip that I learned that somebody had mentioned, and I'm sure a lot of you do this, try to peel off the stencil while the paint is still wet. So then I went ahead and I went back to the other side And I'm getting all of the greenery put on the other side of the bow now, the burlap bow. Getting that all filled out where I want it to be. And then using some of this black and white striped ribbon that I got from Walmart, I went ahead and I made a second bow, but I did like the little double loop thing. I forgot to mention to you guys, so this is actually a Pinterest inspired wreath. I found that something similar like this on Pinterest and I fell in love with it immediately. I love the neutral farmhouse style and colors that it had, and I wanted to make it for my door to move on because right now I have a spring wreath and it's definitely time to move on to a summer wreath. So I went ahead and I struggled with this bow for just a little bit and finally got it all glued together to the way that I liked it. And then I decided, and then that's gonna go on right over the burlap. Okay, you guys, popsicle sticks, they do not hold up. So you can see right here that I tried to punch holes in the tops of these popsicle sticks so that I could feed some jute twine through them. It did not work out for me. So I jimmy rigged it and hopefully nobody will know that I wasn't able to actually feed this twine through. So I went ahead and I took some of this twine and I made a knot. I doubled it over because I wanted it to look kind of like a bulky, cute little knot. And then I cut the knot off the string. Honestly, when I was doing this, I was like, okay, this is either gonna turn out really cute or this is gonna turn out really tacky. So at this point, I was just going with it and I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. So I'm kind of with you guys where you're like, is this gonna work? Do we like this? Do we not like this? I was exactly where you guys were at right now. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch so you can see how it turns out. After cutting off the knots, I glued the knots to the front right over those holes that I messed up. So it looked like there were holes that I had pulled the jute twine through. Don't worry, we're still getting there. So then I used pretty much an entire glue stick just to glue this bow on. And then I wanted the sign to look like it was kind of hanging from the bow. Like I said, this was Pinterest inspired, so that's kind of how it looked on Pinterest and I really liked that idea. So I tried to duplicate that. It was a little bit tough. So I ended up gluing some jute twine on the back. You can see kind of right there, I've got the one side done already and I'm measuring out how long I want it. And I glue it from the back so that hopefully no one will know that it's actually not pulled through the popsicle stick. So then I had to take the wreath over and actually hang it up because I wanted to make sure that the sign was hanging. And so once I took that over, I kind of got it measured to where I wanted, glued everything together, and assembled it how I wanted it. It kind of like was supposed to come over from the bow. And here it is. So I think the execution turned out okay. So you guys will have to let me know what you think. I think it turned out okay. I love the hello part with it. I love all the colors. I feel like it looks like a pretty good rigged situation. So I would like to announce that this video is a collaboration video with Yelena over from her channel, the Blondie Next Door DIY. She is so much fun. I've done some group collaborations with her and she and I decided to just team up today. So she and I are doing this collaboration together. So I will make sure that I have her channel linked down below and also her video that we are doing together linked down below. You guys, she is so amazing and her DIYs are very inspiring. You can learn a lot from her. I love watching her. I love seeing her style. She has a great variety of style and also she is just wonderful to work with. Thank you so much, Yelena, for collaborating with me on this video. This was so much fun. For this next project, I know you guys have seen these. These are from the Dollar Tree. They're fairly new and they are awesome. Everybody has them and I can see why, because they are the perfect setup to just make quick and easy signs. So I took 3 of them. This project is going to be, it's technically one project because I'm grouping the 3 of these together. And I went ahead and I used my same espresso stain and I went ahead and I stained the wood edges and got that all ready to go, and it stained so fast. This part of the project anyway was so fast. Okay, so then I didn't want to leave these, the chalk part of this black. I wanted it white, but I didn't want it nice and painted full white. I wanted kind of a dry brush technique, but just a little bit heavier of a dry brush technique. So you can see here that I do paint it white, but I purposely leave some of the black showing through. I kind of purposely like wanted it to look sloppy. Sloppy? That's not a good word. I don't want it, not really sloppy, just dry brush. Rustic? That's probably a better word. Then I used my Silhouette cutting machine again because I feel like it makes just the cutest things in the world. And I cut out 3 different summer prints because I needed something bright. You guys, all of my stuff, which I love, don't get me wrong, my farmhouse decor it's just my favorite, it's my style, but I needed something just a little bit more bright for my summer decor, at least for the rest of the month of June and into July. I just had to brighten it up. So I went ahead and I used some pink vinyl. Some of it I'm gonna leave pink, like these strawberries that I put on here. I'm just gonna leave these pink. These are perfect, easy, and I just applied those. Such a simple sign, you guys. A little bit of stain, a little bit of paint, a little bit of vinyl, and you're done. So easy. Then for this next one, I also used some vinyl, but I used the vinyl on this part as a stencil because I wanted the banner part underneath the hello sign to be different colors. So we went ahead and I mixed up a bunch of different couple colors from Apple Barrel paints, I wanna say. I've had them forever. And I went ahead and I painted each one of these little banners a different color. I also got these new paintbrushes from the Dollar Tree. Actually, my husband bought them for me. I thought they were for me. He actually bought them for him. They are garbage, you guys. I'm sorry to give them such a poor review. And I know that like when stuff comes from the Dollar Tree, sometimes you take that gamble. Some stuff's amazing and some stuff's, These paintbrushes were no good. Like I use them for the whole project, but I definitely do not recommend them unless you're using them for like dry brushing. Then they'd be great for dry brushing because the bristles of this brush are all over the place. Like I don't know what's going on there, but they were not good for like staying in between the lines and painting. My husband just informed me that they are for spreading glue. So that's another thing. Maybe they aren't bad maybe they really aren't. I shouldn't be giving them a bad review because I'm the one that used them wrong. So maybe if I was using them to Mod Podge something, I would love them. So Mod Podge or dry brushing, all good. Everything else though, no dice. So then I peeled off this vinyl, and I love the lighter colors for summer, but I also felt like they kind of got a little bit lost. So using a black marker, which is one of my favorite things, these are these paint pens. I said black marker. Using a black paint pen, I outlined the banners just to make sure that it gave them just a little bit of dimension. And then I added that actual hello right on top. And then the rest of the vinyl that came with it. So it was Hello Summer. And then I just pulled each one of those out and put those on. So you can see that it gives it a little bit of color for my Hello Summer sign. I was so excited about this sign, you guys, and look what I did. Yep, that's what I did. I legit did this whole thing upside down. It's okay, guys, don't panic. So moving on to my third and final sign, I did the same thing again. So I used the vinyl, some of it I kept, some of it I used for a stencil. The bottom part that looks like those cute little sun ray, I went ahead and I got some orange paint and I just kept adding some white chalk paint to give it some ombre, the ombre effect. This was one of my first times doing this and I absolutely loved how this turned out. I surprised myself. I could not believe that I actually made it look like ombre. Like it faded. It was awesome. And then of course I always have to have some sort of little embellishment, and I feel like this kind of brings in some summery or some farmhouse touch. This is like a little farmhouse touch to my Wow. This is like a farmhouse touch to my summer signs. So using some of this twine, all of this twine is from the Dollar Tree. The jute twine and then the colored twine is all from the Dollar Tree, and then I just use that to tie it around the top. All right, so here they are. Oh, wait. Okay. Don't worry, I fixed it. So, okay, I fixed it. I tried to pull this off. You guys, it actually like pops right off for my husband. So thankfully he used his chisel, he saved the day, popped that right off for me. Really easy fix, and then I just glued it to the other side. I'm not gonna lie, when I first realized that I did this upside down, I might have panicked just a little bit. But then I realized that I could switch this around, and so we did. And it worked. It worked great. There we go. Here are the signs all together. So now I have a splash of color with all of my stained, I have my stained, my white, and my greenery. So here's a pop of color for some summer decor that I can have for the next couple months until it's time to move into some fall decor. You guys, look at that ombre. Like, am I even saying that right? I love that fade. I've never done that before, and I feel like that turned out so good. Once again, you guys, this is a collab with Yelena, so please make sure that you check her out down below. I will have everything linked. Go check out her channel and check out her video, and please tell her that I said hello. Thank you so much again, Yelena, for this collaboration. It was so much fun working with you, and I can't wait to do more in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the DIYs that I had for you guys today. They were so much fun, and I learned so much. Please leave me a comment down below, give me a thumbs up, and consider subscribing if you guys would like to follow along for more. Consider subscribing if you're new, and we'll see you next. Also, don't forget to go check me out on Instagram. I've got my Instagram link down below, and that's an awesome way for me to connect with you guys. So come over, say hi, share your projects, let me know. It's linked down below, so make sure you guys check that out. And I have a family and DIY channel for any of those who are interested. I do some lifestyle things too, where I do a bunch of reviews and unboxings and just a bunch of fun stuff over there. So if that's something you're interested in, that's also linked down below. Check it out if you guys want to. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.